Hi, my name's Carson. I've been a stripper for 12 years, and I'm about to tell you some story times from Myrtle Beach Bike Weeks from last night. So there were 2 bachelor parties that stuck out from the entire night. I danced for both of them, and they were amazing, but let me tell you about the first one. So it was like 6 guys, I don't really know how many, but it was a bunch of guys sitting in front of the stage, all lined up, and they were having the ball. They were hooting, hollering, laughing, smacking each other, throwing tips on us. It was amazing. Well, I do this thing sometimes where I'll walk up to somebody who's wearing a hat and I'm like, hey, can I have your hat? And then I'll take it and I'm like, I promise I'll give it back. So I take it and I'll hide it in the rafters up at the top of the pole. Now the poles are like 20 feet high, maybe taller. I don't know. So I'll put the hat in the rafters. They can still see it. And then I'll do a drop split onto the stage and just start dancing again as if nothing had happened. Well, one of the friends was definitely like one of the instigators. And he's like, hey, when you get his hat, can you toss it to me and not him? So I did. It was just a lot of fun. Well, one of the guys was like, oh my God, you're awesome. Will you come find us when you're done? And I'm like, I can, but I just want to let you know. I did bring my leather paddle with me today. And they were like, oh shit, yes, bring it over. We gotta spank them. So I walk over to them, twirling my little paddle like this. And they're tipping other girls, so I just wait in the back because I don't want to interrupt them. I'm not trying to steal money from other people. I look at the guy that told me to bring the paddle over and I'm like, hey, look what I got. They're like, oh shit, what do you want us to do? That's when I knew I had them. I said, well, if all of you would follow me over to those tall tables over there, I would like to embarrass your friend in front of you guys. So that guy turned to all his friends and he's like, guys, come on, we're going over here. So we walked to the other side of the club where I'm not going to get in the way of the performers having attention taken away from them. That was redundant. Anyway, I look at the bachelor and he goes, what do you want me to do? And I said, I want you to spread your legs open a little bit. Put both hands on that table and look at me. So he does so. He's like this and he looks at me and I say, I want you to scream at the top of your lungs and say, yes, goddess. So he says in like a medium tone, yes, goddess. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. You have to be louder than that. So he screams, yes, goddess. I take my paddle and I swap him on the butt. It is so loud. He gets about 6 different spanks and he has to yell, yes, goddess, before I do another one. His friends are pointing and laughing, so I turned around to the next one and I said, it's your turn. And he said, oh, fuck yeah. He puts his hands on the table and he goes, yes, goddess. I smack the shit out of him. Do that a couple times. And then I say, who's the most arrogant one here? And they all turn to this one guy. He spreads his legs, puts his hands on the table, and I said, no, darling, I have something special for you. So this arrogant guy is sitting there, legs spread, hands on the table, looking at me, and I say, no, darling, I have something special for you. He's like, well, I don't know if I want to do it. I said, I haven't even told you what it is yet. Now stop being scared and hold my hand and stand in front of me. So he's holding my hand and I go, now kneel. He gets down on one knee and I'm like, no, both knees. He gets on both knees. I ask him to hold his hands out as if he is begging. Both of his hands are like this and he's looking up at me, kneeling on the ground. And I say it. And he looks up and he goes, yes, goddess. And I slap the fuck out of his hands. Everyone in the group is just having so much fun. They're screaming. They're like, oh, shit. And then he tries to get up from kneeling. And I said, no, honey, get back down. I'm not done with you yet. So he gets down on both knees. And then I say, put your hands on the floor. And he said, oh, really? All his friends are pushing him down like, get on your hands, get on your hands. And then I'm like, you know what to do. And he goes, yes, goddess. And I smack his ass as hard as I can. He jolts forward and he's like, oh, what the fuck? I put my hand in front of him and I'm like, come here, darling, let me help you up. All his friends are like, oh, she helped you get up. They were so much fun. Thank you, guys.